All right. Well, welcome back, Florida Media. Today we have two friends of mine. We got Will Skudin from Long Beach and EliShama from Jamaica.
Yes, I.
Thanks for coming today, guys.
Yeah, man.
Well, listen, let's quickly introduce yourselves. Just, profession, type of surfing, a little bit of background, and then we'll roll into like more surfing and, territorial stuff. Will, you're first.
Well, the real guest is Shama. So Will Skudin here, professional big wave surfer, owner of Skudin Surf Camps, local from New York.
Yes, I. Thanks for having me too.
Yeah, bro. Welcome.
It's been a pleasure of being able to experience the New York, Long Beach lifestyle this morning and tap in. EliShama Beckford from Kingston, Jamaica, surfer, skateboarder, and overall enjoyer of all things extreme.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Well, that's awesome. So let's rewind a little bit. I mean, when did you two meet? Was there like a point where you guys met? Was it a surfing? Did we meet before Jamaica, or was that the first time?
Jamaica was the big introduction. Jamaica was
I think that was right when we met. We knew of each other before that through Punker, but Jamaica was like, that was it.
And that was a great way to meet too, because that whole trip was such a good experience to have you on the home turf, and we did some activations for the kids and had a really good time down there.
It was wild, man. That was so cool to see. That was the most authentic surf club I've ever been to in my life.
Yeah.
Just like, we have a New York version of it here, but just like the authenticity to I don't know. It was definitely Jay, you were there. It was beautiful.
I also feel like, maybe you should go into a little bit like where we were. 'Cause I feel like most people don't travel to that side of Jamaica.
That side,
I feel like everyone from here we're going to is at the southeast side.
Yeah.
Is like where all the resorts are, like where you go on vacation. So I feel like we got to see a really real piece of Jamaica.
Yeah, I think most of the resorts are on the west side, like the northwest side. But yeah, where we were at, we are facing the Atlantic side, so that's where we get all the major swells from. And that zone, Bull Bay, is kind of been the hub for surfing on the island. Between there and one spot on the north coast, Boston. Mm-hmm. But we kind of focus on that zone in Bull Bay. And, as you were saying earlier, surfing is new in Jamaica, I would probably say 3 generations deep, So having you guys there as an outside influence too is always a good thing.
And it was wild, man. It was so cool. We didn't even know we were going until 10 days before we got the call, and we were like, hell yeah.
Yeah.
I've never been, so.
No question.
And there's you've traveled around the world. When you go somewhere and you're going to be hosted by people of the space, of the land, of the community, of the culture, that's the only way to really travel. That's how you get. So I was like, Jay, you want to do this? And Hurley called me. I was like, we were pretty close to you, being from the East Coast. So that was it was definitely green light. Let's check this place out.
I can't believe I forgot his name, but who picked us up from the airport in that 89 Cressida? The other guy from Hurley.
I don't know.
I
forget.
The other team guy. Oh my God.
Who was on it? Yeah.
Wait, it was Asher Nolan?
Yeah, it was Asher. Asher. He picked us up from the airport.
Yeah, Asher came with us.
And 2 years after that, we did the tour along the East Coast, and Asher was there.
Yeah.
And such a rad guy, bro.
He's the man.
Asher is the man, bro.
Yeah, he was a big, influence to me.
Yeah.
Especially with the coaching and taking on the youth. But that was fun. We had a cool little group, and then what's the godfather of Jam?
Billy.
Yeah, Billy.
Yeah, man. Call him the Jamaica surfing godfather.
Yeah.
Yeah. Real pioneer for the sport, and his kids really brought that, carried on the torch, and it's those guys that really got me into surfing in the first place. So I owe a lot to them, a lot of respect, and they're still doing it. You know,
Yeah,
all
they're
the
still
contests,
past,
the local contests, you know, all the programs for the kids. You know, that's
So you're
still the
like
hub.
kind of, you know, you're like a lot of kids are coming up underneath my organization. I got some, you know, USA surfers guys. So like you're like their top athlete, like came up underneath their little surf camp, kinda, right?
Yeah. And
I mean, there's a few. I mean, I surf who when we surfed together.
yeah,
It was
so,
like 3 or 4 of us. Your squad, all you guys were just
all right, so
just
my squad consists
destroying
of
it.
Ivo Wilmot, which
Yeah.
is the youngest Wilmot brother, Garen Price, who is like an absolute hammer, like super good style, and then we have a little bit younger than me, a few years younger, Ronald Hastings, who is
Okay.
like,
Yeah, I remember Ronald.
yeah, Ronald is a man right now, powerhouse, you know, like
Yeah.
really putting it on the map. And he's actually flow for Hurley right now.
Awesome.
So
good.
yeah,
Good
got
stuff.
Ronald on the team, repping Hurley, and yeah, all the boys really pushing it down there. Ika, who is like Ivor's older brother.
Oh, okay.
You know, and like an older brother to me too.
Yeah.
You know, he would go to the East Coast when he was like younger.
Who were we surfing with when we were surfing your little trestles wave? That A-frame. There was like 3 of us. All I remember is I was just getting smoked by you guys. It was like
I think it was
you guys.
I think it was Ronald and Ivan. Maybe.
Yeah, I think
Ronald
so.
and
Yeah.
Ivor.
Ivan.
Man, that
That
was
wave is
incredible.
fun too,
and it
bro.
was like it was like a tidal wave. You know, you had to wait for the right tide.
Yeah.
But I remember just like looking at it, it's like a little. You guys had your own little trestles, and you guys were blowing up. It was so fun to watch.
A-frame, little
Yeah.
barrels here and there.
Build your own little hut on the beach with the little camera underneath it, and it was
Yeah.
just.
And
It was
that's
a
the
way to
thing.
get away because we were teaching the little groms during
Yeah.
the day when we got away, to feed our own soul.
For a sec,
Yeah, and that
And
was
it was
the
good
fun.
to share that too, and like be able to take it to one of those waves that we surf almost every morning. You
Yeah,
know?
that gave me a good understanding of like how, like when I watched how well you guys surf, the talent level of you guys. That like I was like, oh, it made sense because that wave I was like, that's your skate park.
Yeah,
you
bro,
know? I was
definitely.
watching the way you guys surfed that wave, and I was like, all right, this makes total sense now because
Yeah.
you guys were going. It was competitive. Like you guys are so chill.
Yeah.
But you could
It's like
sense the
on
competitive energy.
like a healthy competitive atmosphere.
The Jamaican competition. It's it's all good, but
Yeah.
but you guys
If
want
I
to one up
see
each
you
other.
do something sick,
Yeah.
like you're gonna get your props,
Yeah.
but I'm gonna try and one up you.
Yeah.
You know, it's like
I felt
was
that
sick,
energy.
bro. Watch this.
Yeah.
You know?
Hell yeah, that was fun, man.
But yeah, bro, that's the scene in Jamaica too. You know, it's such a small community. I mean, it's growing now and I'm happy to be a part of that, bro. Mostly, inspiring younger kids to want to surf and want to make a career and a life out of surfing. But bro, you can surf by yourself every single day of the year. Good waves in Jamaica if you want, because the community is so small. They have a group chat and everybody's like, waves looking good for Copa this evening. And then everybody goes to Copa. And then it's like, all right, you drive 5 minutes around the block and it's empty waves and you're surfing by yourself, you know?
Well, what about if somebody was watching this, like, and is there, like in Hawaii, right? There's a lot of good waves, but if you don't hit up the right people and you don't know the right left, the right left or right to turn, you might end up stepping on some toes. Like, is there localism? Like, I'm just thinking like outside the box right now, like just to change up the conversation a little bit. Like, is there a camp or a guide service, or how do you go about it as a visitor coming to Jamaica and wanting to surf the good waves?
In Jamaica, we're all about good vibes and respect, of course.
I felt that.
But we're so open, bro. So open to have new people come in. Very welcoming. If you ever go to Jamaica, obviously, you reach out to Jamnesia Surf Camp because you want to know the right places to go and which waves to check out. But yeah, on a whole, bro, we're always so welcoming to people. We don't have
So people
that.
could reach out to Jamnesia though?
Yeah, reach out to Jamnesia.
So Jamnesia, they have an
Surf Camp.
Instagram, they have
Instagram.
a website.
Like Amnesia, but Jamnesia with a J.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So check them out.
And then they could, like, say I was just traveling through, I send them a message. They could put like if I was coming to Jamaica for a surf trip, they could put me in touch with a guide and
and they're like
help facilitate that.
They have like they have rooms at the surf camp too. It's like a hostel vibes. You can
right in the bay there.
Get a room, yeah.
Sick. All right, cool, man. Well, that's good for anybody. You know, a few people that might tune into this, just to know that, like, you know, like we got the golden ticket when we showed up there. You guys, you know, took care of us, and you know, it's cool to know that other people, you know, can be inspired by your story and be visitors and come and hit up and have that same experience we had.
Trust me, anybody that travels from overseas to Jamaica and dives into the surf scene there, their whole perception is always a positive one, you know, because it's just smiles, good vibes, as I say, you know.
Yeah.
And in Jamaica is where I see that the most. Obviously, you and I travel around the world and been a part of many different surf communities and surf cultures, and sometimes people can get, you know, a bit antsy, a bit, you know, in the water.
Isn't it weird how people
like
fight over
localism?
Yeah.
And bro, you paddle out into the water and you see people like they're upset. Like, how can you be upset when surfing, bro? You know?
Yeah. It's the one thing that's never gonna run out. Yeah. There's always gonna be another wave.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you might have to wait a few days for another swell, but like, how are we fighting over something that doesn't run out?
Yeah, bro.
It's definitely an internal thing.
Yeah.
But the Jamaican vibes, I mean, it's true. Like, you know, for someone that hasn't been there or hasn't got to meet amazing people like you know, you have that. It's true. Like the flow, the vibe, the energy, like the really, you know, the irie, you know, like you say, like you always said.
Definitely, man.
It's true. And it's like, you feel it when you went there, and it was very inspiring for me and Jay. We were on our way home. We were just like it was like I get thinking now of it, of like standing on the beach and like when we had that little contest with all those little tiny kids, like all those little groms. They're probably 10 now, but they were like 5 then, and those little Shamas, you know, you could tell they were looking up at you and all the boys, and they were like, all they wanted to do was win that little contest to show you. And Billy was like, you know, emceeing it, and the energy was just so pure.
Unreal, man.
And the waves were this big inside the bay for the groms, but they were wiggling and they're going down the line. And
one kid did a handstand.
Yeah, the kid, yeah, they wanted to win, but they were cheering each other on, and it was really cool, man.
Yeah, that's the thing about it too. Is such a captivating environment. Even if we have people that come through that might have a bad attitude, and it won't last, you know, because you just realize that, you know, this is not the space for it, and then it
wears away.
Yeah, you conform.
Yeah, I love that. I mean, a lot of people need that in the world right now, especially nowadays, you know? So, yeah, man, that was cool. Thank you for inviting us.
Yeah, man.
Welcome
really anytime,
special,
bro.
Yeah, that was really special.
I mean, what else? Like, what about like the infrastructure there, like getting equipment? Because I feel like you're kind of remote, I guess, right, from like the rest of everybody else. I mean, getting boards, getting equipment, is that an issue over there?
Yeah, growing up there's no real surf industry. There's not a surf shop on the island. You know, Jamnesia Surf Camp is the only surf-related, you know, business. So there's no real infrastructure for surfing like that. So growing up as a kid, the only way you're gonna get surf shorts is if somebody is coming from the States and brings you a pair, or you have somebody that's traveling and they're like, oh, I realize, you know, you could use a pair of shorts, and they leave their shorts or their old surfboard with you as a gram.
Do you remember that moment?
Bro, yeah.
Tell me about that moment.
All right, so here's some stories.
That's a magic moment, man. Someone who gave you their board. There's something.
Bro.
I love
Let me talk about the first, like one of the surf shorts that I had for the longest while.
Yeah, tell me about that.
That was like my go-to board shorts.
Start with the shorts before the board. I like that.
They were my sister's Roxy shorts.
Only you could pull that off.
But yeah, you know,
Yeah.
I was styling, bro.
The sexy dude over here. You ain't gonna see me pulling that off.
I took him to the 70s with that one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The 70s, above the knees.
Yeah, you
But
brought it back, baby.
It was a pair of Roxy shorts that could pass at the time for some boy shorts, and I took like a crest and I stitched over the Roxy logo. And bro, I was rocking those shorts for the longest while, and
That's awesome. How old were you?
I was probably 10, bro, 10, 11, 12. I had those shorts for a while, you know.
Nice.
And then Ika gave me a few pairs of like Billabong, like some hand-me-down shorts, and you know. So, and the thing about it, bro, when I was wearing Roxy shorts, wearing second-hand shorts, never was I like, yo, we wearing these old shorts. It was always like, second-hand was new to me.
Yeah.
You know, it was always like, always super
used
grateful.
things were new things.
Yeah, always
Yeah.
super grateful, you know.
In a weird way, like, how many siblings do you have?
I have 6.
Yeah.
siblings.
And where do you fall
I'm
into?
the last one.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
there you go, right there.
Yeah.
Like I have 2 older brothers, so like, growing up, like, I remember like sizing them up and being like, "Ooh, I can't wait till he's done with that." You know, like,
Yeah,
new
but
things.
here's-
New things were usually used things.
Yeah.
You know.
But here's where it get tricky. You had 2 older brothers.
Yeah.
I have 5 older sisters. You know. So by the time,
Yeah, I was thinking just now. I'm like, how to get the one pair of Roxy
Roxy
shorts?
shorts.
Yeah, okay.
so
Oh wow.
it was a struggle, bro. So as soon as I was,
how happy
I was
were the
14,
parents when
I
you
couldn't
popped out?
steal no more slippers. I couldn't steal no more shoes. Nothing could fit. I couldn't pull off the Roxy shorts at
Yeah.
14. So it's like, you know, but yeah.
Yeah. Now look, I mean, speed it up to now. Like, I mean, there's literally a Jamaican board short that's pretty much your signature shorts.
Yeah. It's crazy,
That
bro.
came out.
was-
Like,
that was
think
crazy
about
to
this.
see
You
that
were
come full
rocking
circle.
your sister's Roxy shorts as a Grom,
Yeah.
and then Hurley, arguably one of the biggest surf brands
Mm-hmm.
in the history of the sport, puts out your own signature Jamaica
Bro,
line. How
you
many
know-
years later? Like, if that's not a story, I mean,
Bro,
that's
to
magic,
touch on that
man.
is, trust me. Like,
God has a
sometimes,
plan.
like when I stop and like really think about it, it's crazy how things come full circle. You know.
Absolutely.
And being in a position now where I can be like, oh, let's get Ronald some gear and let's hook this kid up and let's get some gear back to the kids there, because bro, I know how valuable that is. You know.
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
you know, a pair of board shorts, a second-hand surfboard, it goes a long way, you know? And,
That
bro,
first sticker you ever put on your board, right?
trust me,
Oh
you know?
my God, I get goosebumps.
Jeez,
You know,
bro, I remember.
It's funny with how important, you know, those moments are with that. Like, I
Yeah.
remember getting thrown my first T-shirt and my first sticker from the local surf shop, Unsound Surf Shop.
Yeah.
I was like 13 years old, and it was just like I won the lotto. I could have been a billionaire that day. I was like, you know,
Trust
there
me.
was nothing else in my brain. I couldn't believe it. And my
Yeah.
friend Vic hooked it up. He put in a good word. I got a good barrel in front of one of the owners. Like, all the stars aligned.
Yeah.
Next thing I knew, I walk into the surf shop. I kind of heard some rumors, and next thing I got, it was literally one T-shirt and one sticker, and it was like the best day of my life.
Bro, trust me. And like growing up back home, yeah?
Yeah.
Because there was nobody really like successfully being a pro surfer. Yeah, of course Ika was traveling
Yeah.
and like doing his thing, but like nobody was getting paid and like making a full living off surfing, right?
Yeah.
So when I was growing up, it's not like I was saying I'm surfing because I want to be a professional surfer. I was just surfing every day because I love surfing, and as soon as I get home from school, I want to surf, you know, and I
Yeah.
want to get better and better, and I was just having so much fun doing it. And it's not until like I was about to graduate high school now, and I'm like, you know, let me try pursue this,
Mhm.
you know, because bro, all of those years you'd have people come to Jamaica and be like, oh bro, you surf good, but you know, you don't know if they're saying you surf good or you surf good for a Jamaican.
Yeah,
you know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
And it's
I
like,
would get that being from New York,
Yeah.
man. You know,
Yeah.
there's I mean, I know we're from 2 different worlds, but we have 2 very similar stories. We're like, you know, weren't supposed to happen.
Yeah.
As far as like big wave surfer from New York, you know, professional surfer, the the first and only, for what I know,
Yeah.
professional surfer ever from Jamaica. So,
Yeah,
it was
bro.
against the odds, baby.
Against the odds, bro. Against the odds, man. And we do it for the love, bro.
Yeah, man. And it's cool because, like, you really brought back. You came down to the surf camp today, and you spoke with the kids, and I always say there's always one person every day that their life changes down at that beach.
Yeah.
And it could have been more than one today, but there's a few moments where you really tapped on, like, how important fun is.
Yeah.
In the ocean, and like just what it did for you, and like not having an end goal, right? Like, we both got into this. Like, I love the idea of surfing big waves. Nobody before me was getting paid to do it.
Yeah.
But I was like, yo, I want to try this stuff. I want to figure out if I could do this. Short story for me is, like, I read an article in Surfer Magazine of, like, people that were partying hard and surfing giant waves.
Yeah.
And I came from a little swimming background, lifeguard background. And I was like, yo, if they could do it, I could do it.
Yeah.
I'm a good swimmer. I was 15 at the time. I didn't even know what partying was, but I just knew it was like, I remember just putting the dots together and being like, I think I could do this, But it was only, I just wanted to know I could do it. I didn't really understand that there would be money in it,
True. Yeah,
I'm sure you had that same.
Yeah, because even when I said, I want to be a pro surfer, I didn't know what the avenue was gonna look like.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have any real plan. There was no map. There was no pathway that was set that do this and do that and you'll be a pro surfer. So the first move I ever made to try and become a pro surfer was saving and buying a ticket to Florida. Because I thought Florida was the place to go. Because I would always hear Ika going to Florida, and I was like, all right, East Coast, and I get there, and I'm like, yeah, Florida is sick. And stayed with my friend Jensen Calloway, and I'm like, bro, I just spent all my money coming to Florida, and went to the Surf Expo, and now I have no sponsor still, and I was like, Jensen, get me a, is there any way I can get a job? It's like, yeah, my uncle has a car wash service. And I was like, all right, sick. Bro, I washed cars for like a month and then bought a ticket to California.
Oh, wow.
And like stayed with the McCaffreys out there in Seaside. And on that trip, bro, I was there for a week and I surfed for one of those Volcom Pro-Am contests and made the final. And met Rob, who was like my childhood hero.
Rob Machado.
Yeah, my mind was just blown,
Yeah.
And that trip
the battle of the hair.
Yeah.
You guys probably looked at each other like, all right.
Yeah, man. Rob is the man, bro.
Yeah, he carries the vibes for sure.
When I was a kid, they used to call me Shama Chado.
Yeah,
that was the first thing I said when I met him. I was like, bro, you know what they used to call me?
Yeah, that's cool. He's actually like, he's such a sweet guy. He came to New York a few times, and he's, there's some people in the industry that, you could tell just the way that they speak to everybody. The
real
same,
diamond.
Real diamond. I like that.
Man, for sure. But yeah, man. And then after that, I was like, yeah, I gotta get back to Cali, and then went back home, and I was just on that grind. I didn't know what California was really going to be, but I knew that's where I wanted to be, or like I needed to be. And on the second trip, bro, I was fortunate enough to meet Pat, Punka Pat.
Yeah.
Pat, wherever you are, you're the man, bro. And Pat is who kind of put me on to Hurley.
Pat sung your praise, man. He was like, dude, he told me about you before I met you. And
yeah, man.
He saw something special, And it was amazing,
Yeah, man. And
Pat.
And that's where the full circle really came, bro. Because the day I met Pat is the day he was like, hey, go in the Hurley store and grab some gear. And, bro, I'm a super humble kid, It's not like I was like, oh, yeah, I'm going to grab. Bro, I took up one board short, like two T-shirts. And Pat's like, that's all you're getting? Bro, come on, you need some of this, some of this. And I'm like mind blown,
Yeah,
like,
your brain was about to explode.
I went home that evening and I like unloaded the bag and I was like, this is crazy. You know,
of
this
course.
is crazy,
Almost want to like cry,
Yeah.
you know, like staring at it, like,
bro. I was like, what just happened? Like it didn't even make sense. And he's like, here's the team stickers. You're on Hurley now, and I'm like, what is happening? You know, and I got into the industry late too, because I was 19 when I made that trip, and it was like you know how it is in surfing. You know, you have kids being sponsored from their like 11, 12.
Yeah, they kind of get.
So you know, against the odds,
Brought
as
up.
we say, bro.
Yeah.
You know,
That's wild. I mean, it's cool, and then you know you carved your own niche, and you came from your very unlikely story in the action sports world.
yeah, man.
And you're inspiring thousands of people underneath you, and you're here in New York now. We tracked you down, got you to the camp, you know.
Yeah.
But like you know, I don't know. Go ahead, Jay. You got. It looks like you've got a kind of got something. On
Well,
your mind.
I know we all are trying to beat traffic, but I do need to know who left you the surfboard.
All right.
I gotta know this.
Yeah.
Because, you know, board shorts
So-
are cool,
All right.
but board.
Yeah.
I was fortunate enough to have a couple people like realize my talent and extend them like their equipment to me over the years, bro. And if it weren't for these people, you know, I probably wouldn't be sitting here. You know, like Luke Williams, which is like a local surfer, gave me one of my first boards, like
Wow.
like good boards. You
You're a
know,
legit board.
you know,
a board that
Ica
works.
has given me secondhand boards.
Yeah.
You know, Jensen Callaway
Yeah.
has given me a secondhand board. But one of the most important board gifts I've ever gotten is from Dylan Graves.
Oh wow.
So Dylan
know
Graves,
Dylan really well.
yeah, Dylan Graves came to Jamaica in 2014, and at this point, like I was really like starting to get a lot better at surfing, and he left me a board, and that board took my surfing to the next level, bro.
I love
The
it.
next level, and then he came back 2 years later,
Uh-huh.
and he gave me another board,
Yes, Dylan.
and that other
Yes.
board took me to another level, right?
Yeah.
And after like
What
when I
was
went
it?
to-
What was the board?
Oh, it was a Shred Sled King by
Oh,
Hayden
wow.
Shapes.
Do you know the dimensions on
It
it?
was like a 5'6". Bear in mind, I'm 6'1".
Yeah.
Dylan is probably, I don't know how tall you are, Dylan.
Yeah. Well, you're skinny, so you kind of
Yeah,
you probably
but I
evened out the same-
skateboard too.
Yeah.
So it's like the board just worked perfect, you know? Shred
Nice.
Sled King. I remember that board, and my surfing just went up a level, and then I came to California, and he's like, come meet the guys from Hayden Shapes, you know? And I go over there, and he introduces me to all the guys, and they're like, which one of these boards you like? And I was like, yeah, I like that. You know, this one looks good, blah, blah, blah. They give me that board. So I get that board from Hayden,
Wow.
get back home to Jamaica, shoot some clips on it, send it to Dylan. Like, Dylan, what do you think? Bro, Dylan sends the footage to Hayden. And then while I'm in Cali, I get a message from Hayden. Like, hey, how do you feel about riding for Hayden Shapes? Bro,
Yeah.
my mind, like, mind blown. I was like, what? Of course, you know?
Yeah.
And I've been
Wow.
riding for Hayden ever since, and that's all thanks to Dylan, bro. Like,
How many years have you been with Hayden?
I would like to say, like, almost 5 years, bro.
Wow.
You know, like 4.5, 5 years. You know,
That's cool, man. Because like you know, Dylan's one of those guys that, you know, he does things for other people all the time, right? And
Yeah.
like he'll plant like good vibe seeds everywhere he goes. He's just one of those guys, you know.
Yeah.
Just they don't make them like that anymore. And you know, when he planted that seed with you by giving you that first board, he obviously saw something special in you. But I'm sure like he's probably even blown away by how much you've blossomed and
bro,
what
trust
this
me.
what that seed planting moment turned into now.
Yeah,
Where you are today, you know.
man. I'm not sure if he understand.
Maybe
What,
we should send him this.
Yeah, bro.
He's
Like,
gonna know
yeah.
now.
yeah, trust me. Like,
Yeah, Dylan.
that was a really like a pivotal point in my surfing career, because at that point, bro, I would have surfboards for like 2+ years, like one board patch it. I was putting boards back together, you know. And then the G boys, the Gadowskos brothers and Dylan and all the boys did the board drive to Jamaica,
Yeah.
which was huge too, and got so many people on boards. But on a personal note, Dylan just always had my back, bro.
Yeah.
Like even in recent times,
Yeah.
like I would see him in Cali, and he'd be like, "Oh yeah, well, what you riding now?" Da, da, da. And he probably just got a batch of boards, and he's like, "You like this one? Here." And I'm like already on Hayden, but he's like, "Yeah, try this one." You know,
Yeah.
just bro.
Yeah, they
I'm
don't.
super
yeah.
grateful. You know,
He's solid, man.
yeah, bro. And yeah, man.
That's it, man. That's the magic behind surfing and everything. And like, I don't know. For me, you know, when you grew up in America and like people are moving at such a fast pace. You know, there's a lot of like, you know, there's a lot of, I guess in New York, I guess it's cool because like, at least you hear the truth from people. It might be a little blunt and it might be a little crazy. Yeah. But for the most part, you know, we might give each other a hard time. We might be moving a little too fast, but it's the truth. So there's pride. You always have pride of where you're from, but you know, there's a reason why, you know, we get in a car and when we want to smile and when we want to chill out, or if we get, you know, jump on a friend's boat or something, there's a reason why we put on some reggae.
Yeah.
And it's to chill the fuck out. Excuse my French, but yeah. And like, you know, there's just something there, you know, and I think it's like beyond words. Like, is there anything you could tap into that, just like to leave us off with? Like, I just feel like people need more of that in their life. Like, you know, just like words of wisdom, you know, of just not taking life too serious, or I don't know. Yeah. What's, you know, you're going to be a wise man when you get older. You're only 26 now. But you know, it's, you know, you got any words for?
Yeah, man, as you just said, bro, it's sometimes people take themselves a little bit too serious, you know, and you put all this weight on yourself and you get caught up in your head, and, you know, their deadlines and then their comparisons, and that's like a big part of what's going on right now. Like I see it all the time back home. I see it when I'm here. Is people comparing themselves to other people. You know, you have to always remember that each person are their own person, and everybody's journey is different. And just to touch on what I kept on saying to the kids today, because I found it to be so true, bro. Always make sure that you're doing what you enjoy doing, and you're staying true to yourself. Because if you are trying to do things to fit in with a crowd or to be accepted, you'll never be fulfilled in yourself, you know, and you'll be always feel like you're chasing something. And a lot of people who are chasing things and not being real with themselves end up becoming bitter because, you know, they spend so much time trying to
impress.
Impress. And then, you know, you get to a point in life where you realize that all of that means nothing, because at the end of the day, you're here with yourself. And are you happy with yourself, or are you unhappy with yourself?
I read something the other day that said success and wealth follow love. Yeah. So like without love, you're never really going to have the other two.
There you go, bro.
And I read that. I forget how it was worded. It wasn't worded like that. Yeah. But I feel like that's kind of what you're tapping on, right?
Yeah, definitely.
It's like the cement.
And gratitude, bro. Yeah.
It's part of it.
Them say, back home, we say, from you have life, you have everything.
I love that.
From you have life, you have everything, you know? So just be grateful. Gratitude is a must.
Yeah. Just be every breath.
Sure, and be humble. You know, be humble.
We have an award at the end of every camp on Fridays. Yeah. We call it the Humble Hawaiian Award. Yeah. And we have like best attitude, humble Hawaiian, biggest wave. But the humble Hawaiian has turned into like the biggest thing because, you know, we celebrate that quality.
Yeah, man.
You know, and
very important.
Yeah, it's cool. Maybe we should change it to the humble Jamaican.
Yeah.
Yeah, baby. It's so good to have you, man. Well, thank you for everything. Thanks for coming out to the camp today.
Yeah, man.
We're going to the pool tonight, man.
Bro, we're going to the pool. Yes. I'm looking forward to that. Yeah. And
a la carte, I'm going to serve it up to you. It's private session, so you can order anything you want on the menu.
Sick.
Got like 20 different waves.
And I didn't travel with a board. Yeah. You know, I was
talking about boards. Yeah. Are you going to ask him now live? Did you send him? Did you send him a message?
Toledo. I already left a board, man. Might have to use that at the pool tonight. So
Yeah, so if you're
thanks in advance, bro. You're the man.
So Philippe Toledo left the board at the wave pool if you're watching this. And this is yeah, I guess we're just gonna pull it out of the thing. He told me to save it for him when he comes back, but you might have to put a few.
Sure, he didn't say. If Shama was happening to come, bro. Oh, good. Yeah.
We'll send him a couple clips. I'm sure he'll be smiling.
Yeah, bro.
He's one of the boys.
Bro, Philippe is.
Yeah.
Bro, he's one of my favorite surfers.
I couldn't believe how cool he was. Sorry, I know we're going overboard here, but I was like,
yo, he's
dude,
the man, bro.
I'm like, he comes to New York and he's just like. He's just so solid. He's like, I at first you're like, this is the best surfer in the world, like I'm doing my best to like host him, but every single
award,
person, humble Hawaiian award, like humble whatever award. Every single person that was speaking, no matter who they were, he was listening.
Yeah,
and like you're the best surfer on the planet. You're a world champion.
Yeah,
and like it didn't matter if it was the busboy at the place we were eating, or the kid camper, or
yeah, man.
It didn't matter who it was, or my mom, or my friends, or anywhere I brought him. He always took his time and he actually listened to the words that came out of people's mouths.
So important, man.
Yeah,
yeah. The couple times I've met him and spoken to him, you definitely feel it. It's undeniable, bro.
Yeah. He's a special man.
I call him a real youth in Jamaica.
A real youth.
A real youth. Yeah.
A real youth.
Oh, you nailed it.
Youth.
Yeah, there you go, baby.
Yeah, man.
All right, guys. Well, listen. It's about 3:30. You might beat the traffic.
Jay.
Yes, sir.
Did you have fun in Jamaica?
I had a lot of fun in Jamaica. I still remember that concert that night we were watching and everybody was singing.
Yeah, it was a karaoke night, but you guys are like all professionals.
Yeah.
So we got scared. We just sit in the back.
Yeah.
But hey, man, I was bobbing. That was so cool. And everybody wrote their own music.
Yeah,
so everyone was playing originals.
Yeah.
It wasn't like you go to a karaoke night up the block here and everyone's like, you got John Bon Jovi over here and Alicia Keys over there. And like whatever, people are singing these songs. But there was like 5 of you guys in a row that came up and all did original songs.
Bro, music and surfing, the surf culture is tightly knit with music. Bro, Jamaica on a whole is just,
everybody knew how to play an instrument.
It was
a
crazy.
big part of the culture.
Yeah.
And me and my friends do
What do you
music
do if
now.
someone is not musically inclined? You just kick them out of the family, or what? No, I'm just joking. No,
do a DNA test.
DNA test. Yeah. It's that little Irish, the little Irish gene that's slipped in there,
Bro,
man. I got no musical talent, so that's why I stick up for them. But hey, I'm good at listening. But that was
a tambourine, bro.
Yeah.
Cowbell.
Yeah, that was cool, Jay. That was an amazing night.
That was amazing. All right, guys. So I guess that's it.
Yeah.
Let's wrap it up.
Enough respect. Thanks for
seeing you
having
guys.
us.
Thank you, everybody.
All right. Till next time.
Florid Media in the friend zone.
Yeah, you got it.
If you got yourself, then you're never alone.